Hidden for centuries, the tablets from Babylon contain the wisdom of the ages, written lessons that guided merchants, lenders, and citizens toward lasting prosperity. In this chapter, we explore these ancient records, discovering timeless principles of saving, investing, and guarding wealth that continue to illuminate the path from effort to enduring success. Hidden for centuries, the tablets from Babylon contain the wisdom of the ages, written lessons that guided merchants, lenders, and citizens toward lasting prosperity. In this chapter, we explore these ancient, discovering the tablets. The city of Babylon had endured centuries, its streets echoing with the footsteps of merchants, scholars, and citizens alike. Amidst the bustling markets and grand temples lay hidden treasures of knowledge. The tablets from Babylon, inscribed with the wisdom that had guided generations toward prosperity. Akkad gathered the people to reveal the lessons contained within these ancient records. "Friends," Akkad began, his voice calm yet compelling, "these tablets are more than stone and inscriptions. They are a guide to life, wealth, and opportunity. Each mark upon them carries a principle, tested through years of practice by the wisest men of Babylon. Today, we will learn how careful planning, disciplined effort, and recorded knowledge transform opportunity into lasting prosperity." He held up a tablet, its surface worn, but the inscriptions still clear. The first lesson recorded is the importance of saving. Wealth begins with the discipline to reserve a portion of your earnings, no matter how small. A man who saves even a fraction of his income lays the foundation for future security and opportunity. These tablets remind us that small, consistent effort compounds over time into enduring prosperity. A young apprentice asked, "Master Akkad, how can simple savings grow into wealth?" Akkad smiled knowingly. "Through consistency and patience. Every coin saved is a brick in your personal wall of security. The tablets advise setting aside at least 1/10 of your earnings before all else. Invest these savings wisely and watch as they multiply, creating a foundation upon which fortune and opportunity may be built." He continued, voice firm and deliberate. "The second lesson is careful record keeping. The men of Babylon wrote their transactions, debts, and agreements upon tablets for future reference. Knowledge without record is easily forgotten. By tracking your earnings, expenses, and investments, you gain clarity, avoid error, and make informed decisions. Discipline in accounting ensures that wealth is preserved and growth is guided wisely." Akkad gestured to the crowd. "The third lesson is prudence in spending. The tablets caution against waste, urging each man to distinguish between necessary and frivolous expenditure. Wealth is lost as quickly as it is earned when carelessness prevails. Prudence ensures that your earnings serve your purpose, enabling investment, opportunity, and security." He paused, letting the lesson settle. The fourth lesson is seeking counsel from the wise. The tablets advise learning from those who have succeeded, understanding their methods, and applying tested principles. Knowledge passed down through experience is more valuable than gold, for it allows you to avoid the mistakes of others while benefiting from their insight. Akkad leaned closer, voice softening to draw the listeners in. "The fifth lesson is careful investment. The men of Babylon recorded ventures that multiplied wealth and those that failed. By studying history, evaluating risk, and investing with prudence, opportunity becomes reliable. Wealth grows steadily when guided by intelligence, discipline, and foresight." He straightened, voice rising with authority. "Finally, the sixth lesson is endurance. Fortune is rarely secured in a day. Patience, persistence, and the continual application of these principles ensure that wealth endures. The tablets from Babylon remind us that prosperity is the reward not of chance, but of disciplined, wise, and sustained effort over time." And so, as the citizens of Babylon examined the ancient tablets, they realized that these records were more than historical artifacts. They were a blueprint for life, a guide to saving, spending, investing, and preserving opportunity. The wisdom inscribed upon stone illuminated the path from ordinary effort to enduring prosperity, showing that knowledge, discipline, and foresight are timeless companions on the journey to wealth. Applying the tablet's wisdom. As the sun rose over Babylon, its golden light illuminating the streets and markets, the citizens gathered around Akkad and the ancient tablets. The inscriptions, though centuries old, spoke with clarity. They were more than records. They were instructions for turning knowledge into action and effort into lasting prosperity. Friends, Arkad began, voice steady and engaging. The tablets do not serve their purpose merely by being read. They demand application. Wisdom, when stored in stone, is dormant. It comes to life only when applied to our daily actions, decisions, and efforts. Today, we will learn how to transform these recorded lessons into results in our own lives. He held up a tablet etched with faint markings. The first principle to apply is disciplined saving. As we saw, even a small portion of income, set aside regularly, grows over time. The tablets advise saving at least 1/10 of your earnings before any expenditure. This creates a reservoir of wealth that can be invested or used in times of need. Without application, this principle remains mere theory. A young merchant asked, "Master Arkad, what if we cannot save consistently?" Arkad's voice was firm yet encouraging. "Then start with what you can. Even a single coin saved is the beginning. Gradually, as discipline strengthens, the habit grows." The tablets remind us that small, consistent action is more powerful than sporadic effort. Wealth compounds not through sudden windfalls, but through steady, deliberate steps, he continued, voice deliberate and clear. The second principle is record keeping. Write down your earnings, expenditures, and investments. Track progress and identify errors. The tablets show that men who record their transactions avoid mistakes, recognize opportunities, and make informed choices. Without records, even prudent effort can be wasted. Action guided by knowledge preserves and multiplies wealth, Arkad gestured to the merchants around him. The third principle is prudence in spending. The tablets caution against indulgence and waste. Every coin spent should have purpose and value. Evaluate necessity versus desire. Spend wisely, invest prudently, and avoid impulsive purchases. Prudence ensures that wealth is preserved for future opportunities, and that effort is not squandered on fleeting indulgences. He paused, letting the crowd reflect. The fourth principle is learning from the wise. Seek counsel from those experienced in trade, commerce, or craft. Observe their methods, understand their reasoning, and adapt their lessons to your circumstances. The tablets emphasize that knowledge gained from experience is invaluable. Saving effort, time, and gold, Arkad's voice softened, drawing listeners closer. The fifth principle is careful investment. Money, like energy, should not be idle. The tablets illustrate ventures that multiplied wealth safely and those that failed due to recklessness. Evaluate risk, prepare thoroughly, and invest only in opportunities understood and planned. Wise investment turns effort into enduring prosperity. He straightened, voice firm and resonant. Finally, the sixth principle is patience and perseverance. Wealth is rarely instantaneous. The tablets remind us that fortune grows over time, nurtured by disciplined saving, prudent spending, knowledge, and careful investment. Steadfast application ensures that prosperity endures, and that effort, guided by wisdom, produces lasting results. And so, as the citizens of Babylon examined and applied the wisdom of the tablets, they realized that knowledge alone was insufficient. Action, discipline, and careful application were the keys to turning ancient lessons into modern results. Each recorded principle became a living guide, ensuring that wealth, opportunity, and prosperity could be preserved and multiplied across generations. Lessons for daily life. Babylon's streets bustled with merchants and citizens, each pursuing their daily tasks. Yet the wisdom of the tablets quietly guided their decisions. Arkad gathered the crowd once more, ready to show how the timeless lessons of Babylon could be applied to everyday life, turning ordinary actions into lasting prosperity. "Friends," Arkad began, voice calm but compelling, "the tablets are not distant history. They are practical instructions for every man and woman seeking to secure wealth, opportunity, and peace of mind. The lessons recorded within them must shape our choices each day, guiding both effort and judgment. He gestured toward a young apprentice handling coins. The first daily lesson is budgeting. The tablets teach that a man must live within his means, setting aside savings and controlling expenses. Without a clear plan for income and spending, wealth is easily lost. By applying this principle each day, you create order in your finances and prevent wasteful decisions. A merchant asked, "Master Arcad, how strict should this budgeting be?" Arcad's voice was firm and reassuring. "Strict enough to preserve your savings, flexible enough to meet genuine needs." The key is discipline and consistency. The tablets show that even modest, regular savings grow into security and opportunity when maintained daily. He continued, voice deliberate. The second lesson is prioritization. Every coin and every effort should have purpose. Allocate resources to essentials first, investments second, and only then to discretionary spending. This daily application ensures that your wealth is protected while allowing room for growth. Discipline in daily priorities is the foundation of enduring prosperity. Arcad paused, letting the lesson resonate. The third lesson is accountability. Track your decisions, evaluate outcomes, and learn from experience. The tablets demonstrate that those who reflect on daily actions refine their methods, avoid repeated mistakes, and increase their efficiency. Knowledge combined with accountability transforms effort into results. He leaned closer, voice softening to emphasize the next point. The fourth lesson is continuous improvement. Just as a trader refines methods, a craftsman hones skill, or a farmer adjusts planting, your daily efforts should be refined constantly. Small improvements compound over time. Multiplying both opportunity and wealth, Arcad's eyes scan the assembly. The fifth lesson is foresight. Plan for tomorrow while acting today. Anticipate potential challenges, prepare reserves, and consider future needs. The tablets repeatedly stress that wealth is protected not only by what is earned, but by what is planned, safeguarded, and invested with foresight. He straightened, voice rising with clarity. The sixth lesson is diligence. Ordinary, consistent effort each day produces extraordinary results over time. The tablets show that persistence, when guided by wisdom, transforms small actions into lasting prosperity. Every careful decision, every measured effort, contributes to the foundation of enduring wealth, Arcad concluded, voice calm yet inspiring. Finally, the seventh lesson is integrity. Conduct each day's actions with honesty, fairness, and respect. Reputation is a form of wealth that cannot be bought. The tablets remind us that trust, earned through daily integrity, opens doors to opportunity and ensures that the results of effort endure. And so, as the citizens of Babylon incorporated the lessons of the tablets into daily life, they understood that prosperity is not sudden or accidental. It grows through disciplined saving, purposeful effort, careful planning, continuous learning, and integrity applied every day. The wisdom of Babylon became a living guide, showing that ordinary actions, practiced consistently, lead to extraordinary and lasting success. The eternal message of the tablets. In the quiet stillness of Babylon's night, the moon cast its silver light upon the city's stone walls. Arcad stood before the tablets once more, their engravings glimmering faintly under the lanterns. Around him his pupils, merchants, scribes, and craftsmen, waited in silence. For tonight Arcad would share the deepest meaning of the ancient inscriptions, why these teachings endured through centuries, and why they still mattered to every generation. Look upon these tablets, Arcad began softly, and understand why they have lasted while cities have fallen and kings have been forgotten. They do not record the wealth of one man, nor the triumph of one age. They record the principles of prosperity that are as constant as the rising of the sun. He traced his fingers gently over the carved words. The tablets speak of effort, wisdom, and patience, the true pillars of enduring wealth. Gold changes hands, markets rise and fall, but principles remain. These teachings endure because they reflect the laws of life itself. A young scholar asked quietly, Master Arkad, do you believe these teachings can never fade? Arkad smiled. They can fade only when men forget to live by them. The lessons themselves are eternal, but their power depends on practice. When we apply them, when we save, plan, invest wisely, and act with integrity, the tablets live again. They are not relics of the past, but mirrors for the present. He paused, the firelight flickering across his face. These ancient records tell us something deeper than the art of accumulating wealth. They reveal how character shapes fortune. For the careless and impatient, gold slips away. For the disciplined and wise, it multiplies. Prosperity follows virtue as surely as shadows follow light. The crowd leaned closer as Arkad's voice grew more reflective. The tablets also teach gratitude. To build and preserve wealth is not for pride, but for purpose. To care for one's family, to support one's city, to contribute to the greater good. Prosperity is most secure when it serves something beyond the self. He turned to the merchants and craftsmen among them. Every trade, every effort, and every coin earned honestly becomes part of Babylon's greatness. The tablets remind us that individual success strengthens the whole. The man who prospers through wisdom uplifts his home, his neighbors, and his city. Arkad's eyes glimmered with quiet strength. So remember this. The tablets were not written to make gold worshipped, but to make men worthy of holding it. Wealth without wisdom is fleeting. Wisdom without action is empty. The man who blends both, wisdom in thought, discipline in deed, walks the true path to lasting prosperity. He looked again at the students gathered before him, their faces glowing in the torchlight. Let the lessons of these tablets guide you beyond Babylon's walls. Wherever you go, carry these truths. Save first, spend with purpose, invest with care, seek counsel from the wise, and protect your gold from loss. But above all, honor your labor, your word, and your time, for these are the greatest treasures any man can possess. A deep silence followed his words, broken only by the soft hum of the desert wind. The tablets from Babylon remained, their carved wisdom glowing faintly in the firelight. A timeless reminder that the path to prosperity is not found in fortune alone, but in understanding, integrity, and effort applied with purpose. And so the teachings of Babylon continued to echo through generations, passed from master to student, father to son, citizen to traveler, guiding all who sought to build wealth with wisdom and live a life of lasting value.